Oh no, my horse just keeps eating grass. What can I do? Oh, hi. Oh no, she keeps eating grass. What should I do? Can you help me, mother? What should I do? Oh. Oh no, it doesn't work. What shall I do now? I don't know. Oh, you're noticing. What shall I do?
And this video is about how to teach a horse not to graze while being led or while being ridden. And I have picked our fabulous children's horse, Glanny, for this video because this can be a problem with him. And especially since he is ridden by kids, he has kind of learned how to pull the reins out of the rider's hands and stretch down to eat grass. And of course, by doing this, he gets a huge reward for going against the rein. But what also happens is that if the kid or anyone is then trying to pull his head back up, he has kind of also learned how to pull against you pulling. So it becomes kind of this tug of war that he of course wins because he is stronger than we are. I thought I'd show you a couple of simple things you can do to teach your horse not to graze without pulling on the lead rope or without pulling on the reins. So now he's kind of, he's grazing and has probably forgotten everything about me. But instead of me going closer and trying to kind of lift his head up by pulling the lead rope, I'm going to just swing the lead rope until he lifts his head. And when he grazes again, I swing the lead rope. So every time he grazes, I'm swinging the lead rope until he lifts his head. And it's a good thing if you kind of have a lead rope that doesn't have a metal clip. So instead of trying to pull his head up, I'm asking him to lift the head by swinging the lead rope. And I'm also not preventing him from grazing. You know, he's thinking about it, but he's kind of correcting himself now. Now he's grazing. And you do as much as needed. Now he's grazing. And it's probably even more effective if you have a metal clip, but it can hurt the horse. So I do it without the metal clip on the lead rope. So it's more, I think it's more like annoying him. And I also think you will have better results if you're not allowing your horse to graze a whole lot before you start wiggling the lead rope. So I'm like, the minute his teeth are coming close to the grass, that's when I start to wiggle. And I offer him what I call connection when he's not grazing. Because I've been doing the connection exercise with him, so he's able to kind of hang out with me and relax, which can be a reward in itself. But if you like to use positive reinforcement, you can also give your horse a treat for not eating the grass. But I rather just use the connection with him. that I kind of give him some attention and that he's able to relax in my presence. Because what I think happens if we try to prevent the horse from grazing by holding a tight lead rope, the horse is going to be even more interested in the grass because you are annoying the horse by holding a tight lead rope and by micromanaging the horse. So it's very important that when you get the horse's head up, that you don't kind of hold your horse like this. So although there's a slack here, I'm still kind of holding him. And this is what makes you able to lead your horse on a loose rein where there's grass, instead of leading your horse with a short lead rope where there's grass, to try to prevent the horse from grazing. I can maybe try some leading to show what to do if the horse starts grazing when you are leading the horse. Let's see, I'll start walking, he's walking, and there he was grazing, so I can then put him to some work. Good boy. Very nice. This was a total shock for him, I think. Now I'm leading again, and I try to kind of look a bit, have him like a bit in the corner of my eye. So if he starts grazing, I try to be a bit quick and put him to work. Ooh, there he was grazing. Yoo-hoo! I was not paying attention there. And maybe we are able to get some nice circles as well. Good boy. Very nice. And we start walking. And sometimes it might be easier to do this if you have kind of help from someone who can see if your horse is grazing or not. Because I like to keep the horses behind me when I'm leading. But I want him to associate eating grass by doing work. And since pulling on the lead is kind of used up a bit and doesn't solve the problem, I rather put him to work. And that's how I'm able to lead him in the grass on a loose rein without preventing him from eating grass. Hui! Oh, I see the grass is really luscious here underneath us. And he was kind of thinking about it, and then he corrected himself. Yes, good boy. He's not paying very much attention to me right now. He's looking at the horses over there. Which is okay, you know, he can have a look, he can see what's going on around him. But I do like to kind of be able to catch his eyes. And I often do that, like by starting to lead him and getting him his attention on me and away from the horses. So now the leading isn't so great anymore. We have distractions, but that's okay. And I kind of keep on walking until I feel that I have kind of reconnected with him. Like he's looking over there, I can do a turn over here. And that's where he goes. Okay, you are there. Now he's looking over. Now he's looking at me. Good boy. Now he's looking over there. Now he's looking at me. Good boy. Yes, very nice. Okay. I will now try to do this while riding. But I suspect that doing this on the ground might have solved the riding issue as well. Like you see now, I don't have to constantly keep my lead rope 10 centimeters long to make sure he doesn't graze. I kind of trust him not to graze now. And if he starts grazing, I can wiggle my lead rope. And I also think to be able to do this, it's wise to have a rope halter and a lead rope that's long enough for you being able to lead the horse on a loose lead rope. I think if you have a regular halter, and especially the halters with this loose ring that goes wiggling about, this is probably not going to have any effect. Because when you wiggle the lead rope, the ring that is attached to the lead rope is going to just wiggle about and not make it annoying for the horse. Okay, let's see here, like this. I can see if the reins work. They're not working very good because now he's moving and not bending his neck. There you go, we have a little response here. I think I haven't really trained him to the riding signals yet. There you go. So at least he understands that he's supposed to bend the neck when I'm putting pressure on the rein. And like if he was to start grazing now, I don't have the lead rope to wiggle. But what I can do is that I can ask him to move the hind end over and bend his neck. Yeah, so let's say he was grazing, then I would kind of ask him to move the hind end. Giddy up. And put him to work like that. Good boy. Or I can wave the whip as well, you know, use whatever you have in your hand, but don't pull the horse's head up or prevent the horse from grazing. Okay, let's see if we shall face the camera here. And I like to mount with one rein a bit shorter than the other. So in case he bolts off, which he probably doesn't, because he's a very nice children's horse, but you never know. It can be wise to have one rein a bit shorter, so if something happens, he will be in a circle kind of around me and not way over at the stable. Because although he's a children's horse, he's not very used to being ridden alone on the pasture and do exercises. He's very used to following the horse ahead of him. So be a bit mindful of that. If you have a very quiet and easy to ride horse that always kind of does the same thing, and then you do something completely different with that horse, the horse might also be different. Yeah, but you see, he's not thinking about eating grass. Yeah, I can try to ride a bit around and see if he becomes tempted to graze. Like, look at that luscious grass, Glanny. It's so delicious. Maybe if I steer a bit. I can stop. Good boy. And I think that's probably a wise thing to do if you can solve a problem on the ground before riding. The problem is usually solved before you are in the saddle. But I will try to find another horse who is prone to graze while being ridden. But I think we have been mindful of this when training our horses. So it's going to be hard to find a horse who is prone to graze while ridden. This was kind of the worst case I found. But I also think, you know, sometimes you are in a space where you're not able to ask your horse to work or ride forwards when the horse starts grazing. Because that's what I do. If he was to start grazing now, I would ask him to trot, and I would ride trot in circles, like I did with the lead rope. But sometimes you're in a position where you're not able to do that, and the horse is still tempted to eat grass. Well, that's when you can you just ride with short reins past that spot. And then you can practice teaching your horse not to graze when you are in an area suited for teaching it. Like, I wouldn't be able to teach it by the highway, for example. Because by the highway I wouldn't be able to ask him to trot in circles. But here, in this place, perfect for teaching him this. Yes, because if you then find that your horse is thinking about the grass while you are riding on short reins, it can be wise to ride the horse a little bit forwards and more or less do a little exercise the horse can't do without not grazing. And I think then if the horse has done this earlier, the horse will remember that grazing is job. So it's going to be easier to solve it, because preventing the horse from grazing by holding the reins is not going to solve the problem. And the worst case scenario, it's going to make your horse irresponsive to the reins and be able to pull the reins out of your hands and stuff like that, because they get the reward for doing it, which is grass. But I'm a bit disappointed that he doesn't graze. I will try a little bit more and see if I can tempt him. We are heading over there and maybe not in the fence. Let's see. So I'm very much a passenger now. I was just seeing if he forgets I'm there. And I think maybe also the same applies to the reins as with the lead rope. I've seen horses who become more interested. Oh, he's grazing! Yoo-hoo! Let's do some pace! And now we are working. I don't really care what gait we are in. I'm just kind of putting him to work here. He wants to slow down. I ask for more forward. Okay, I can ask him to stop. And maybe flex his neck a bit. He's very stiff. Okay, we will try again. This was actually some progress because he was starting to graze. And that makes me able to show you what to do. Let's see. Good boy. Yeah, I think I should be happy. Yes. And this method, it works so much better than trying to prevent the horse from grazing. Put your horse to work when your horse is grazing, either when you're leading or when you're riding. If you're standing with your horse, wiggle the lead rope until the horse lifts the head and then leave the horse alone. They will understand this much better than a method going on, please don't graze, oh don't graze, don't graze, don't graze, because it's going to make the grass even more tempting, and worst case scenario, it's going to teach your horse that the horse is stronger than you and teach your horse to pull the reins out of your hands.
Oh no, it doesn't work. What shall I do now? Oh no, no.
Så stopper du. Så står du på lange tøyler. Strekk armen ut i været. Problem solved!
Yes, we made it. That's what you do.
Okay, you can ride home now. Thank you for joining.
Goodbye, have a great day.
Have a great day. And ride forward when he wants to graze. Don't
Okay.
pull on the reins.
Okay.
Okay. Yeehaw! Good job, Olav! You got this! No grazing! Well, I hope this helps, and thank you for watching, and good luck with teaching your horse to not graze while ridden or while being led.